Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 174 of my journey. It was at the beginning of the year this year when I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year this year, all outside in a row, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I had also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is only my second year ever running. Within the first full year of running in 2020, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days out of the year in 2020. So me going for 365 in a row as well as 1,500 is a 50% step up in the amount of miles as well as a 100% step up in the amount of days from last year. Also throughout this year, I've challenged myself to run two big races. One of those races being a 50K trail race. That is the Yankee Springs trail race in Middleville, Michigan. And the Detroit Free Press Marathon. Well, the 50K I was able to finish, got that done June 5th. Finished in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, so I'm officially a ultra marathoner. So now I have a bar set as well to try to improve on my time and my pacing. It was definitely a different ball game from training every day to getting out there and putting in just a lot of miles, but even the elevation was a huge game changer. And the next race, the next big race, next ultra race I want to run, I definitely want to do it more out west with more elevation and less oxygen. So I will have to definitely train for that. So on top of that, though, I am doing, like I said, the Detroit Free Press Marathon as well, and I'm going to be upgrading that to the Motor City Challenge, which is running the mile, the 5K the day before, and then running the marathon. And that marathon entails running over the Ambassador Bridge into Windsor, Canada, and then back under the tunnel and back into Detroit. So I'm really excited about that and really want to work on my time for that marathon as well. Now, this will be my second marathon ever ran in 2020. I did run one unofficially with my buddy Joe because 2020 happened, COVID hit, and we were unable to do the actual marathon. So we ran one together. I finished that within, I think, 5 hours and 22 minutes. So I definitely want to shave off a lot of time off that, at least an hour, because I think going into this marathon, I'm a lot more prepared, especially running every single day. So that is kind of just the challenge of that. Now let's kind of just talk about, get this over with real quick. A few episodes ago, I talked about I wanted to try to, one of my goals this year as well was to become more literate. That entails just reading more and expanding my vocabulary in general. And to do that, I wanted to, really read at least 30 minutes a day, as well as now I've added a word of the day. But I really fell off at the beginning of the year of reading, so I've been really trying to stick to it these past few days and this week. So was able to read a little bit, probably got 4 more pages done of Beyond Order, Jordan Peterson's second book in the 12 Rules for Life series. So almost done with the first chapter, really liking it, really loving the book, guys. Highly suggest it. I highly suggest his first book as well, just 12 Rules for Life. I highly suggest reading that one first, and then you can continue on with this one. Other than that, let's go to the word of the day. Oh, I do plan on reading more again later on tonight, getting a little bit farther. Hopefully, I'll break into chapter 2. I will let you know when I am able to do that. It seems like I'm getting probably about a good 4 pages out a night. I'm kind of a really slow reader. It's something that I never really did a lot of in my life, and I think my problem with reading is really obtaining what I'm reading, and I'll read, and then I'll read really fast, and then I'll realize what I just read I didn't even I don't even know what I read. I read the words, but I didn't really think about what I was reading. So that's kind of where I struggle with reading, is really grasping what I'm reading at the time and really trying to visualize it in my brain. So I'm working on that. I'm getting about 4 pages done a day, like I said, so not too speedy. Now let's talk about word of the day. And it is emeritus, holding after retirement an honorary title corresponding to that held last during active service. Another version definition, retired from an office or position. So that is an interesting word. That is the word of the day from the Webster Dictionary, guys. So now that we got that and done, let's talk about miles for the day. Today was day 174. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, for mileage today, I got 3.1 miles done for the day. That put me at 9.9 miles for the week, which put me at 102.5 miles for the month, which put me at 762.7 miles for the year. Let's focus in on these monthly miles real quick. First and foremost, every single month I challenge myself to a 100-mile challenge, which has been completed now this month with the miles. And within that 100-mile challenge, I pick a charity I do the challenge for. I donate money to that charity, as well as start a fundraiser to raise money as well as awareness for that charity throughout that month. So the first 5 months, we were able to raise money for 5 great charities. Now we're sitting here in the 6th month, and we're raising money for the Alzheimer's Association, because the month of June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, guys. So if you'd like to make your donation to this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story. Instagram or Facebook, within the stories of the Defining Discipline pages, you will find the link to do so. On top of the links, you can click on it where it says donate on Facebook. It'll open up the donation on the Facebook page where you can make your donations. All donations that get made to this fundraiser go directly to this fundraiser. Facebook is taking 0% of the donations. That's why we continue to do it through Facebook, because they have the agreement not to make any not to take any of the cut of the donations. So all of the fundraisers we've done so far this year has been through Facebook, and they've stuck to their word so far. All of the fundraisers and charities that we've donated money to has received all of the funds. Like I said, so now we're here in the month of June, and we're raising money for the Alzheimer's Association. So I understand times are tough, and if you are unable to make your donation and you'd still like to help out, the best thing you can do is just click that share button as well. Let's make sure that we just get it out there, because we are raising money this month for this charity, but we are also trying to just raise awareness for it as well. Now let's kind of just get right into today's episode. Today is day 174. And for today's episode, today's theme is going to be stagnant. And for the reasoning behind that is because for a long time, I felt like I have been very, very stagnant within life, and especially within challenging myself. And I think a lot of people fall victim to that. I think we all become stagnant and comfortable within our lives. And it's not even that we're happy, but I think it's that we're too afraid to push the boundaries and see what we're capable of, because again, we're not necessarily happy with what we got, but we know that it could be worse. And maybe if we try for more, if we fail, we might fall farther down the totem pole, so to say. So I think that's at least what kept me maybe from being stagnant. The fear of failure, the fear of, you know, to try to put a little bit more context to it. I did play a lot of music at one point and wanted to really pursue that as a career, and was doing that. And not that I became super successful or anything like that, but the path started paving itself in front of me, and things just kind of started falling in place, and it seemed like things were really working out. And I remember really kind of getting like the imposter syndrome, thinking like, I didn't deserve it and I didn't want to do it, or not that I didn't want to do it, I wanted to do it, but like, again, I just didn't think, like, with how things were falling in place, like I felt like I was an imposter, like I wasn't as good as I necessarily was. Like, I don't think I was great, like I said, but clearly stuff was working, but in my head, like, I didn't understand why it was working, so I always really questioned myself. And then, like I said, I was really afraid of putting myself out there and really going for it and failing. So instead, I just voluntarily failed at doing something that I really thought I wanted to do. And after doing that, it really left me stagnant and kind of in a petrified state in general of failure, like really scared of failing at anything I tried. Maybe I want to go within this field and really go for something and try it, but it kind of got haunted again by that imposter syndrome of maybe I don't really know everything I need to know in this field. And then I start questioning myself, and then really start to worry about failure. So I wanted to talk about Stagnant because I think it is really a mentality, and it is something that I think once we really push ourselves to past those boundaries of the fear of failure, I think things can really start to come together. And it even just with this, I'm not the best talker, clearly. I talk about how I'm trying to read and become a better speaker and expand my vocabulary, and I'm trying to work on myself in general, because I know there's things that I need to work on. But I'm out here, I'm doing this, I'm doing episodes, I'm putting it out to the world, not even trying to promote it or anything like that, but just doing it to do it and putting myself forward, and really just built a lot of confidence over these past 2 years from starting running in 2019, late 2019, when I started in October, really slowly building up, and it was able to run, 100 miles within, from late October to before January 1st, less than 2.5 months, I was able to run 100 miles, which built enough confidence up for me to really challenge myself to run 1,000 within the next, that year, 2020, without really knowing anything about running. And it also challenged myself to run a marathon without knowing anything about running. And it was the little battles that really built up the confidence. And there was failures along the way. But it was still the little battles of the little battles and the little wins that built up enough confidence for me to keep going and seeing and push my boundaries and see how far I can take it. And now, my whole mentality has changed, just in general, and I can just see it with, a lot of, there's very few people that I associate now with that have, I guess, the same outlook or mentality, that necessarily, I guess, I have, and it's not to harp on them. It's each their own. I get it, but I can just see my mentality's change from not being content ever, even when things are going good, to continue to really push and push and push and push and push, and keep working, and not to be stagnant, and to continue to develop, because I think when you don't continue to develop, you really start to fall behind. And I'm speaking from experience, and you know, I fell behind on lots of levels from, not really applying myself because I was afraid. I fell behind on, just multiple levels, because I was being stagnant and not really taking advantages of the opportunities in front of me and not truly believing in myself. So something that I've been really working on this past year is really pushing myself and believing in myself. And I've been doing it, like I said, even in 2020, but really this past year I've been really trying to put myself out there and just believe in myself and put in hard work and just trust the process. And things have been really working out, guys, and trying to not stay stagnant and trying to, like I said, continue to develop every day, because there's always room for improvement, no matter what it may be. For me, it's my running and things about me that I don't personally like, that I think I can be better at, that is not only going to make me better as an individual, but it's going to make me better because it's going to make me a better communicator, and it's going to make hopefully the people around me, not necessarily like I'm trying to influence people around me, but I think your personality reflects on the people that are around you. So I'm hoping that I could spread hopefully a more active lifestyle into a lot of my friends that I care about that don't seem very interested in really pursuing that or pushing themselves, who are living a more stagnant lifestyle and are content with that. Like I said, and to each is their own. I get it; it's fine. But for me, I came to that realization that my health is something to really be taken seriously. I think at one point in time, I think I really forgot and didn't and really took life for granted. But things happened that really put me into a new perspective and a new outlook on life in general, about how serious it is. And I didn't want to sit around anymore. I didn't want to wait around anymore. I wanted to make sure that I'm getting out there and really putting in the work and not just being stagnant. I kind of just lost my train of thought there of what I was actually kind of going for. I actually had a certain point that I was getting to and lost, but yeah, I don't know, guys. It's just, oh man, it's gonna upset me now. But we're getting late into the episode anyways. I don't have to continue talking about being stagnant. So for your daily discipline for the day, guys, it is to quit being stagnant. It is to really push and push and push. I'm kind of bringing it back now, talking about it. Okay, yes. So I realized being stagnant, as I was being stagnant, and I really started taking my health seriously. I realized, as I was trying to start taking my health seriously, that it was going to be hard. And when I first started it, it was hard. It was super, super hard to get back into that state of just working out and getting my body back in shape. And it wasn't easy. And I'm still not perfect. I could be better. Like I said, there's always room for improvement. But it was me really getting in the mentality that if it's this hard today to do this, and I know this thing is something that I really necessarily need to do. Like I really do need to do this. If I want to live a good, healthy life, I need to do this. And if it's this hard today to start, it's only going to get harder tomorrow, and even harder the next day, and 10 times harder the following day, and so on and so on and so on. So I realized the hardest part for me, and when you are stagnant, the hardest part is taking that first step and really pushing yourself to do that. And that's what I really visualized and figured out. I was like, it's hard now and it sucks, but it's only going to get harder, and it's something that I need to do, so I might as well start it now and just get it over with. And that's kind of what really kicked me into the mentality of starting to work out, because I wanted to really take my health, especially my cardio and my breathing and all that, seriously. That's why I kind of chose running. So focused on that, and that's where I am at. Now let's get back to your daily discipline, which is stagnant, guys. Don't be stagnant within your life. Whatever it is that you are being stagnant at, maybe it is exercise, maybe it is you're just comfortable at your job and you're not pushing yourself to do anything better. Whatever it is that you feel like you are stagnant within your life, realize that it is the hardest step is that first one. But once you take it, it's still going to be hard for a couple other steps, but each step is going to get easier. Okay? It's not, maybe the first 10 steps, whatever, are going to be hard, but maybe that 11th one will be really easy, and that 12th one's going to feel even easier. And then by the time you're on 20, you don't even realize you're taking steps anymore. You're just going. It's just automated. Okay? So really, really realize that. And your daily discipline, it is to really take that first step. Quit being stagnant within whatever it is that you are being stagnant at. Maybe you've been following along with the episodes and you've been following along with the daily discipline, but you haven't really been doing the daily disciplines. You've just been listening to the episodes like, oh, that's a cool daily discipline. Maybe that's what you're stagnant on. Maybe start right now. Go back, listen to a couple episodes, and start doing some things that you really need to focus on. Okay? So that is your daily discipline for the day. Other than that, this is the Defining Discipline podcast. I am your host, Scott. This was episode 174, day 174 in a row running. Like I said, 3.1 miles for the day, guys. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy, but got out there, felt great. Other than that, before we close out the episode, want to give you a quick reminder that you can make your donations to the Alzheimer's Association 100-Mile Challenge for June. You can find the link to do that on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story. The link is within the story on top. Click on it. It'll open up a Facebook page where you can make your donations. Thanks so much for listening. I am your host, Scott. This was episode 174. Please be sure to give this podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, our TikTok, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been following and listening along on. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Get your daily discipline done today, and also just stay disciplined. Peace out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 175. Tomorrow's a special day. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. See ya. Peace.